The best thing to do going forward is to prepare for the gold standard of aviation to return, which is and always has been to have. Welcome to the Pilot Pulse channel. I'm Aaron, your host and guide through the dynamic world of aviation hiring. With over 8 years of first-hand experience in the airline industry, including 3.5 years in recruitment and hiring, followed by 1.5 years as an instructor captain, I bring you insights from the cockpit to the boardroom. Currently, I'm flying the Boeing 757 and Boeing 767 for a major U.S. passenger airline. You can trust me as your source of credible information as I dive into the intricate hiring cycles of airlines, both on a micro and macro level. To start with, we need to take a look back and see how we arrived here where we are. In the past 5 years, major airline hiring counts have picked up dramatically overall, causing significant draw from the regionals. The regional airlines had to implement bonuses and pay scales in order to keep up with the demand from those legacy and major carriers. Following COVID, there was what we call the post-COVID hiring boom. And that's exactly what it was, where airlines went from hiring 0 to hiring hundreds of pilots per month in order to keep up with the summer and fall and winter demand of 2021. As COVID began to somewhat subside at the beginning of 2021, with the travel demand that the airlines started seeing in the middle of 2021, airlines like United and Delta and Frontier and American began to start placing more orders, anticipating that the demand was going to meet or exceed all expectations for years going forward. To put all this into perspective, major airlines have finally right-sized their fleets today for expected growth plans in the future. Today, there are currently about 88,000 pilots flying for major legacy, LCC, ULCC, and major cargo carriers in the United States. With 30,800 pilots being hired in the last 3 years, that's a growth factor of 35% in just 3 years, causing absolute havoc for primary pilot supplies such as the regionals and military. So why is everything slowing down now? For one, overall retirements are no longer increasing. We're basically at the top of the bell curve where we're going to see as many retirements as we're going to see from here going forward. The third thing is qualified pilots are reaching ATP minimums in record larger numbers due to the reduction in the regional attrition and thus the regional hiring programs. The fourth thing is current aircraft orders are causing slowdowns in the most desirable major and legacy airlines, thus creating less draw from the regionals and then less draw from the regionals to off-the-street hires. The fifth thing is aircraft groundings due to engine issues, to include airlines like Spirit, which have seen about 20% of their overall fleet grounded through the remainder of the year. That has significantly hampered their hiring operation, thus not requiring any hires. The good news is future aircraft delivery schedules remain robust. For example, United has placed orders for 470 aircraft, including 321neo, 321XLR, Boeing 737 MAX, Boeing 787s. Delta has ordered 193 aircraft, including 737 MAX, Airbus 321neo, and Airbus 220s. American Airlines has placed orders for 204 mainline planes, including 90 Embraer 175s. Lastly, Frontier has placed orders for 91 A321neos. Another good thing is engine issues with airlines like Spirit will be resolved hopefully in the next year, where they'll be able to unground almost 20 aircraft. Regional airlines have over 300 total grounded airplanes due to staffing shortages related to the massive hiring draw to the major carriers over the last 3 years. Specifically speaking, the major carriers of the U.S. have hired over 30,800 pilots since the beginning of 2021, and this slowdown will effectively give the regional airlines time to balance their airline fleets, which will be good for all the airlines and especially their bottom dollars. The fourth thing helping the industry is the quantitative easing by the Fed in the next 6 to 9 months. Hopefully this will spur spending in the public, which will help drive demand for summer travel 2025. And when there's more demand, that means there's a stronger demand for pilots, therefore there's more hiring. The fifth thing keeping airline pilot hiring from plummeting is airlines like American and United that are planning significant growth over the next 6 years, providing significant hiring opportunities with quality of life and career advancements. The sixth thing that we have going for us is retirements just remain robust through the end of the decade. After the end of the decade, though, they do begin to regress. But for now, until at least 2030, it looks like the demand will remain high because the retirements remain high, and that's great for everybody. And lastly, retirements and industry demand still vastly exceed the total pilot production levels, meaning as long as we have more demand than we do supply, there will be a shortage and there will be hiring going on, hopefully. So where are we going in the future? The next 12 months will be a major turning point for aviation hiring. The golden wave is most likely behind us, peaking in 2022 to never return. However, even though it will look like a significant reduction in 2024 compared to 2022, the hiring environment today will still be extraordinarily better in comparison to 2012, just 10 years earlier than 2022. With the steady trend in retirements and steady increased influx of qualified ATP applicants, hiring requirements will become more competitive each passing day. The only thing that is hedging the industry from completely regressing with the retirements is the sheer volume of outstanding aircraft orders and U.S. carriers' projected growth, if it eventually happens. Just disclaimer. If you're someone who's planning to make your entry into aviation, whether it be a private pilot, commercial pilot, ATP pilot, regional pilot, or major airline pilot looking to make your way to a legacy carrier such as United, American, or Delta, well, things are about to tighten as we've already seen a decrease in projected hiring for the year of 2024 alone. Following a career track pre-COVID, it was nearly impossible to get hired at a legacy carrier without a 4-year degree and 1,000 hours of airline captain time, such as regional time. The best thing to do going forward is to prepare for the gold standard of aviation to return, which is and always has been to have that 1,000 hours turbine 121 PIC time and a 4-year degree. The days are limited for getting into the legacy carriers without a 4-year degree, and soon thereafter, the major and LCC and potentially the ULCC carriers will follow suit. If you're one of those people that have aspirations of being in a legacy carrier one day, going forward, I recommend getting into something extra, like extracurricular activities such as voluntary leadership position within your local community, or maybe even charity work at your local or in an international community as well. Get a wide variety of experiences in different aircraft in different situations. Never turn down an opportunity to learn. Apply to all types of career pathways to any airline, no matter what you might think your dream carrier might be. You never know what the circumstances and situations will be like when you finally reach the career maturity where you are then competitive for a major or legacy carrier and who might even be hiring or who might even still be in business at that time. The best place to find yourself is in a position where you have multiple pathways to choose from before you move into that corresponding major carrier's ecosystem via a regional partner. As time passes, airlines will face different circumstances that will cause micro ebbs and flows within the overall industry of ebbs and flows, meaning all the airlines can be doing great and there still might be one airline that's going backwards. Or there could be one airline that's doing great when all the other airlines are going backwards. It's absolutely impossible to predict the future. All you can do is plan accordingly, plan ahead, and try to make sure that you have as many different potential professional pathways to as many carriers as possible going forward. If you like this video and want to get more like it in the future, be sure to like and subscribe to follow my Pilot Pulse channel. If you have questions or would like to add facts or ideas, feel free to comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to your feedback. Thanks so much for hanging out with me until the end of this video. Until next time, fly safe and keep chasing those tailwinds. Out a little,